What's up YouTube, it's your boy Wolfie here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a complete tutorial for improving your building and editing skills in Fortnite Battle Royale. There'll be times for everything in the description, so if you're only looking for a certain skill, you can click on the time below. Alright, without further ado, let's get straight into the tutorial. So the first thing I'm going to go over is controls and controller settings. In the settings menu, under the game tab, you want to be sure to copy down these settings for an overall more improved experience. The first thing you're going to want to have turned on is sprint by default. I'll touch on why just a little bit later, but for now just turn it on. Next, you want to make sure edit mode aim assist is turned off. Just trust me on this one, it makes editing a whole lot more challenging when it's on. Of course, if you don't already, make sure to turn on turbo building and auto material change. After that, you want to turn on controller auto run. This one isn't completely necessary, but is definitely useful at times. And the last ones are most important. Make sure Builder Pro Build Immediately is turned on, and then set your controller edit hold time to 0.1. I recommend 0.1 for the edit hold time just because it gives you more of the opportunity to edit that much faster. Next, we'll go into the controller settings. I actually found these settings here on YouTube a while back from a YouTuber named Direct. I'll link his channel in the description as well. You want to create a custom configuration and want to make sure you start with Builder Pro as the initial controls. From there, you're going to change L3, which is pushing down on the left stick, to jump. Again, these controls are straight from Direct's tutorial, so I won't go into a ton of detail why. As for the sprint by default setting we turned on before, this is why. Next, you're going to want to change your A button on Xbox or the X button on PS4 to edit. This makes it a lot easier to initiate an edit from what I've found. You're also going to want to change the B button or square button from switch mode / edit to just switch mode. The last thing I recommend is setting right on the D-pad to sprint / auto sprint so you can still use that feature. Unless you use squad comms, this shouldn't be any sort of issue. You want to copy the same settings to the build controls tab. Now, we'll get started with some basic building. We'll start with the ramp wall rush. This should be pretty self-explanatory, and it's going to be useful when you want to gain high ground on someone while in a gunfight. We'll start on the ground here, with just a ramp and a wall, as if you're initiating a gunfight. Let's say your opponent isn't very good, and you want to get above him with a little protection so you don't get shot down. All you're doing for this rush is building a ramp, then once you're on the ramp, building a wall in behind. As you get better at this one, you can get much faster with it. The next thing I'll cover is a slightly more advanced version of this. The ramp floor wall rush is exactly what it sounds like. This version gives you an extra layer of protection from an opponent that is looking to shoot you down. The only difference with this one in terms of building is that I recommend you build your floor after the ramp and then build the wall. I want to add that you should also be looking slightly down in order to build below yourself, rather than trapping yourself by building above. Again, you can start slow with this one. Ramp, floor, wall. Ramp, floor, wall. And so on. And once again, you can work on this until you get faster and faster. Next, we'll go over the double ramp floor wall rush. This is the same as the previous rush, but with an extra added ramp in behind for a little more support. The technique for this one is a little different and definitely takes some practice, so don't get discouraged if you can't do it immediately. You'll notice that once you get to the top of your ramp, you have the ability to place another one at the same level just in front of it. We're going to use this to complete this rush. The best way I've found to do this rush is to place that ramp, then the floor, to connect it, and then jump and place the other two. I recommend doing wall, then ramp for this. Again, you want to look slightly down for this one to make sure you're placing all the pieces in the correct spot. To start slow, you place the ramp behind, then move forwards a bit and place the floor, then jump and place the wall and other ramp quickly. You can practice this technique until you find a rhythm, at which you'll be able to complete this pretty quickly. The last rush I'll go over is the double ramp wall rush. This one again is quite tricky and takes some practice to get the rhythm down. You're going to want to start in the middle of your two ramps and are essentially doing a circle motion with your right thumbstick as you move up. When I first started this, I found this quite difficult due to my sensitivity settings and found another way you can achieve this rush. For this way, you're pretty much just running little zigzags with your left thumbstick as you go up the ramp. Again, starting slowly, you're going to start in the middle of your two ramps. As you move up, you want to place your walls in behind your ramps when you get to about halfway, so you don't end up placing them in front of you instead. You're just going to slowly practice moving in a circle while placing ramp, ramp, then wall, wall. As for the zigzag version, you're doing almost the same thing, but you're not moving the right stick as much, but rather moving your left stick side to side very slightly as you go up. Practice this one more and more to be able to get faster and faster. Now, I'll go over a useful technique to use once you get into a build battle. You've probably heard about people talk about doing 90s before, so this shouldn't be anything new for most of you. For 90s, you're just turning your build 90 degrees to try and gain the high ground on the person you're against in a build battle. I won't go into too much detail about this because I'm assuming most of you know what to do here, so instead I'll just give you a tip I've learned for completing this smoothly. When you want to start your 90, make sure you're standing in the far upper corner from the side you'll be turning. I found this helps with making sure you don't accidentally build a ramp above yourself. Once you have this down, you should be able to complete your 90s quickly and efficiently. If you don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to completing a 90 and want me to go into more depth, please let me know in the comment section and I'll be sure to make a tutorial on that. The last thing I'll cover in this tutorial is just some tips when it comes to editing. If you're more of a beginner in this category and want some more in-depth coverage, again, be sure to let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to make a video on that. When it comes to editing, the biggest thing I've noticed is people are not able to complete their edit due solely to the fact that they don't select the complete region they're trying to edit. You want to make sure you practice this slowly and get a rhythm down with that. Another big thing I've noticed when it comes to things like editing pyramids above you is people tend to not complete the edit and end up getting stuck underneath their pyramid. For this, I recommend you practice slowly clicking the edit, then the piece you want to edit, and then confirming the edit. I say practice this slow because you want to actually get down the rhythm for each piece of the edit before slowly getting faster with it. This definitely helps in the long run as you get faster and faster with this. I hope this video helped you improve your building and editing skills in Fortnite. If it did, be sure to give this video a like and make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to know when I post. Anyways, that's all for now, so peace out and Wolfie